was a way to show respect to the audience and respect your own business. It was a way to protect them.
Ladies, gentlemen, heels and faces, casual Richie fans, and all you smart marks. I am Mr. Richie Rome.
That's my line.
That's my line.
That's my line.
That's my line.
You know what? I'm cutting you off right now. Woo! Don't you start that with me.
Woo!
Woo! Woo!
And I'm Kayfabe AJ.
I'm the Kayfabe Queen Melly Mouse.
And I'm Kayfabe Focus.
You can't do me! I'm cutting you off right now.
Woo!
Gosh.
Alright, that was a hot take to the search. That was a hot take to the show.
We have a case of mistaken identity going on. It's Royal Rumble weekend, guys. I don't even know. They picked the wrong numbers today. I don't know what's going on.
I'm assuming they did.
We definitely have a packed show today. We have Raw, SmackDown, Takeover, Ring of Honor, NXT, of course.
Wait, you're running everything down. I don't think everybody knows where we're at yet.
Ooh. You know what? You're absolutely right.
Absolutely
you know what?
Right.
You guys threw me off. That's
Right?
what it is.
Right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh.
Cannon shot for me to leave.
Even the Rock is like
Rock is
kinda,
like.
I
think
that's because it's down on prayer. Yeah.
he's trying to.
He's
trying to change
Here
locations.
it goes. Here it goes. Finally, this is my chance.
MSS baby left him. He found a new place to dwell.
Wow! That's my line. That's my line. That's my line. You know what? You can't do me. You can't do me. You know what, Focus? I'm cutting you off. I'm cutting you off. Wow.
It doesn't matter who's Richie Moon or who's Focus. We want that deleted. And you know what, guys?
This is my line.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have some good news and I have some bad news.
That was a hot take to begin.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
starting off some news we have today. Let's start off with Undertaker.
Okay.
And right now, there seems to be no scheduled match or anything for Undertaker at WrestleMania, which will be the first time in like 20 years.
He hasn't missed a WrestleMania
Since like 2000.
I think
Almost.
And that was only due to
about
injury.
19 years.
That was only due to injury.
So the first time in 19 years, we might not have an Undertaker match at WrestleMania. Also speaking about Undertaker, we have rumors that he's gonna be in the Hall of Fame, and this was due to like a promotional leak. I believe in the UK, they had basically some promotional material listing the people as legends.
Oh, were you talking with him, the Hall of Fame thing?
Yeah, so there's rumors that he might be
yeah.
in the Hall of Fame going in this year, which makes perfect sense.
We don't know what's eventually going to
I
happen.
hope so.
It makes perfect sense for him not to have a match. He's probably going to be inducted this year, so whether he makes it or not, that's a good look for Undertaker and is well deserved. I personally think that, yeah, it's about time that he actually does get inducted and maybe does get
It's like they're not seeing the Queen on that side.
Oh my God! Did you hear that? Like, they're not seeing the Queen on that side.
There we go.
There we go.
While Melissa wants to make sure she gets her publicity and her camera time.
Listen, she needs that
You know
spotlight. Even
You
though
know
I purposely set the
Undertaker.
IG. I purposely set the IG over there just so it can be faces directly to her.
You see, that's
Just so it
crazy.
can face-
Yes.
She's the queen. She's the queen. This is what happens when you're the queen. You know what I'm saying? This is what happens when you're the queen.
Anyways,
I will make it legit one day. I will have my crown. Very
Uh-oh, baby.
Fair.
Kind of like share the camera time.
Foreshadowing.
Can we share the camera time?
I mean, first, look at this.
First
I had
of
to
all,
go throw a
she's
throwback.
trying to prevent people from seeing the fact that there's a Ronda
Starting to
Rousey.
see
No.
some reputation.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to sing the song either, but
Nobody knows
at least I
how
got
to
the
sing the
tea.
song. All right, let's get back to this Undertaker story. What's going
Yeah.
on?
We are one.
Move
We
along
are
with
one.
Of the AOP, he's legitimately injured. He has a leg injury. I'm not sure exactly what's the medical term for what exactly he got, but that's the reason why the AOP have not been on TV. And Akam. They're saying that he's gonna be gone for a couple of months. So
That sucks. I
right
like
when the AOP was getting their shine.
But you know what? This is actually, it sucks, but this is a good thing in a weird. Not good he got injured. It's good because all the stuff with Drake Maverick, all that piss and stuff, it left a bad taste in everybody's mouth. So a couple of months off to forget about them, forget all that stuff. AEP comes back. And
I agree with that.
And just
but maybe
fresh.
behind the scenes, that was the reason why they dropped the titles to Rude and Gable for the
So
leg
weird.
injury and stuff.
Everybody has shit. Everybody gave that segment shit.
Speaking of injuries, we have finally Matt Hardy has been greenlit. So Matt's finally greenlit. I'm gonna give a little prediction. Maybe joins the Rumble
Tonight.
which is tonight.
Maybe. I
So-
can definitely see
Wonderful.
So yeah, Matt's greenlit. We have a few signees to Ring of Honor. We have Dragon Lee and MVP Montavious Porter. People know him from his WWE run. Now he's officially Ring of Honor.
I mean, he was Ring of Honor before
I mean,
tagging
he
up
is-
with Kenny King, which he did his debut this
Debut.
weekend
I didn't know
in
that.
Texas. So
And let's not forget that MVP is the first IWGP Intercontinental Champion.
I didn't know that. I thought it was Shinsuke Nakamura.
See, I didn't know that.
No.
No, it wasn't Shinsuke. I knew it wasn't Shinsuke.
MVP, yeah.
But I mean, MVP's been everywhere, but most people know him from his
They know.
WWE fame or whatever. But he's officially signed to Ring of Honor. He's already traveled the world and stuff like that. But with all this signing, like this bidding war for everybody,
Everywhere, everybody.
people are getting solidified now. So
It's a good time.
he's officially, along with Dragon Lee, chosen Ring of Honor.
I see puppies.
Just got a little hot in here.
Sorry. I see Mandy's puppies.
Man, these
Man,
puppies.
things just got real.
It's
Hashtag.
not the attitude era. I don't even speak about puppies.
Things got real hot in here all of a sudden, man. Sheesh. All right.
We have Bree speaking up on the time she botched and knocked out Liv Morgan. Turns out she was put into a deep depression. You know, that's always unfortunate when people injure other people, and I know she got a lot of backlash. We even gave her some,
You definitely did.
you know,
A lot.
I mean, justified though, because it was, back-to-back botches. People shouldn't have dug her a new asshole the way they did on Twitter and they did online. Things
You
happen.
gotta be equal opportunity
but
shitters. If you're gonna shit on her, then shit on everybody like that. You should shit on Seth
Exactly.
Rollins when
Like
he
I've
injured
been
Finn
shitting
Balor.
on Nia Jax. So
Shit on everybody. If you're gonna shit on everybody the same way, shit on Seth Rollins for injuring Balor and Sting
Word.
yeah, and breaking John Cena's nose.
and breaking. I would say shit on everybody.
Even though
Everybody
that
makes
was
mistakes.
a crazy
And
vision.
Hideo Itami for popping Daniel Bryan's eardrum.
Word, and if you ever show up on SmackDown, he gonna get his comeuppance. That's what Daniel Bryan. I love Daniel Bryan doing that. He's putting the 205 guy live over, saying you're putting him over and saying.
Speaking
He
of
Captain Planet. Captain
Speaking
Planet.
of Daniel
Captain
Bryan,
Planet.
there's rumors that he's gonna change the title to a eco-friendly
I think
title.
it's time that.
I think it's gonna be a completely wooden title. Like, what else is gonna be
That would look pretty
eco-friendly?
cool,
You know.
Yes.
So-
yes, it's for all of you. Counting
Going
the
back
cents.
to signings, we have
He's gonna come out with a green belt.
Abyss and Sanjay Dutt officially left
Captain
Impact, and there's rumors they're signing with WWE.
Okay.
I
15
personally don't
15
want to
years
see
too late.
Abyss. Yeah, Abyss is definitely 15 years
Well,
too late.
they're saying that they're gonna just stay. They have the contract to stay backstage, so maybe
See,
trainer.
for Abyss, that makes perfect
I
sense
understand
because
him
he's
being a
already in a
trainer.
producer
Not
role with
mainly
Impact.
on the main roster yet, but they are signing just to stay backstage. So
I don't want
pretty
to
much.
see. I don't want to see Abyss unless he has a hardcore title.
Shouts out to EA watching the live stream on YouTube. Shouts out.
Hey, let's do some shout outs. Shout out to everybody
watching.
watching. Yo, shout
out
to my cousin. Shout out to my cousin Anthony watching us live on Facebook.
Shouts out to Anthony.
Hello.
Hey.
We hitting multiple platforms here, so
We
So
have
this is how the
Facebook,
conversation went.
YouTube, Instagram.
15 years ago, this is how this conversation went. Hey, pal, this is Vince. Can I speak to Abyss? Yeah, we're gonna give you a contract. Yeah, you versus Taker at Mania. Oh, you're gonna stay at TNA,
but you're gonna fight the Undertaker.
You're gonna fight the Undertaker, pal. At WrestleMania, pal. You're gonna stay. All right. Well, good luck on your future endeavors, pal. And now we're here. Where you can.
Yeah,
come on.
that was a big failure on his part. I mean, he became the staple of Impact, but what is that really? With all the changes that has been through over the years, what does that really say?
I fought the Undertaker
At
Mania.
You turn that down, bro. It's too late.
It's
Producer
too late.
role, I definitely agree with the producer role, but I don't want to see Abyss in the ring.
I don't want to see Abyss in the ring either. He was never that good in the ring really to begin with anyway, without a gimmick, you know? Sorry to say it.
Someone we actually haven't seen around a ring recently is JoJo. They say she's going through a lot of personal issues, so she's taking some time off.
Send our
she still has a job with WWE, so JoJo's still a part of the WWE family, but
we support JoJo at Kayfabe Beth.
Yeah,
Bray Wyatt, what are you doing?
Watching the pre-show.
So, not like he can wrestle or anything like that.
He's watching the pre-show.
God forbid, I know, right?
Another prediction for
Rumble?
probably coming out of the Rumble. So
As much as I would love to see Bray Wyatt, I wouldn't want to see him come back then because he's such a character that he needs that build. We need to see these scary images of Bray Wyatt coming up. I mean, it would be cool to see him, but it's like, oh, you just did all that build up on Twitter for like 8.5 years to come back at the Rumble.
Yeah. Well, let's send a kayfabe congratulations to Jack Swagger.
Hey!
We
the people!
He won his first MMA debut, his debut fight. So congratulations to him.
Shout out to Jack Swagger, aka Jack Hager.
We want to shout out Jeremy Ortiz, who just joined the chat.
Hey,
join the conversation, guys. We watching. You got questions? You got something to ask in the discussion?
Yeah.
I actually watched Jack Hager, his match, and he comes out with R-Truth.
Ooh.
Rapping.
I didn't get to see the match.
Yeah,
I was watching TakeOver, but did he come out to Endurance, which is R-Truth's new single, or was it like?
I'm not sure. I mean, the Titantron, he pretty much like had his wrestling, We the People on the Titantron, and a little bit of showing him how he comes out at WWE and everything like that. You couldn't really hear R-Truth's song a lot because everybody was just like their mind was blown. That is Jack Swagger. He came out as We the People.
And R-Truth.
A lot of people from WWE were actually posting and showing a lot of their support.
I posted on the page.
And he
Jack Swagger doing the We the People post.
It was the Usos, New Day, and Samoa Joe. I guess they were all watching together.
And the bar as well. A few people, Jeff Hardy.
Because this is the first time, because like he said, and rightly so, CM Punk and Brock Lesnar came in the UFC, and they kind of was like, yeah, we did that, but we're here for the UFC. I'm Phil Brooks, as opposed to CM Punk.
EA wants us to review the Johnny Ricochet match. We're actually going to talk about. We're actually going to talk about TakeOver, but we're going to hold that off a little bit down the line of the show.
It's the main event of the show.
So pretty much, just a quick, if nobody has seen the Jack's debut at MMA.
Yep, yeah, the debut.
Pretty much like he won with a submission.
Nice.
First round.
First round?
First round.
He beat him in the first.
That's what I'm talking about.
But it was beautiful.
We the people.
He took him down, hit him with the elbow right to the face, cracked him. And went for the Kimura lock.
Done.
I expected more of that. Before even getting in this match, he definitely mentioned that while Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley, and CM Punk tried to drift away from their wrestling experience, he wanted to lean into it. Also, tidbit that I respect fully. It takes a certain breed of dude to straight up say in training, punch me in my face so I can learn how to take the hit and my body can react. CM Punk, maybe he should have did the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, Brock did, but Brock, you could just see it on Brock's face.
I'm
Brock
sorry.
got hit,
No,
just
I
like,
respect CM Punk for actually giving his all and actually stepping in that octagon. It takes a certain breed of people to do that.
Sure does.
But it showed what the worst of wrestling can be in that octagon. Wrestlers jumping from that into that octagon. It showed what the worst of that can
That's
be.
a great point.
But definitely
And
the way I was
Bobby
watching
Lashley,
that,
who's undefeated, what, 8?
He lost a couple of matches, but he definitely won a lot.
He won
more.
like 8 in a row before.
Yeah, I think
leaving.
I think he lost like 3 matches, but still he was down. I don't understand why they never talked about WWE. I don't understand why they ain't talking about Bobby Lashley.
I guess they're not trying to build themselves into a corner like they have with Brock Lesnar as far as he's UFC and.
I know Jack Swagger probably gonna come back to wrestling, but when he does, Jack Swagger is gonna be
the way he carried himself in that octagon last night, I definitely think that he's at home. He was very, very comfortable at that octagon. Like, he knew what to do, and especially he is in perfect shape. Like, knowing the fact that we're so used to his wrestling gear, but he was just in the shorts,
even
in
if he
the
wore
glove,
the wrestling gear,
full skin exposed.
He was
like,
never in that shape that he was in last night.
No. In his wrestling gear, he was actually a little bit like.
It's visible. Like, he lost weight, but he's cut. Like, he's a big dude. This is Jack Swagger. He's tall.
No, he's like 6. I believe he's 6'5".
He's actually trying his next fight to come out with the Jack Swagger moniker. So. Maybe Vince will take notice and let him use the Jack Swagger name for the fights.
No, it was funny because after his victory, you know, they talked to him and they was like, they pretty much, I don't know exactly how it went, the interview, but I know for a fact that they asked him about his WWE career. Like, I guess one of the questions was, how does Vince feel that you're transitioning to over here? And the best quote that I heard was, the only way to convince Vince is to con Vince. So that like kind of was like, ooh, where is this going?
Yeah.
Where is this going? So, you know, Vince, eye open.
I mean, for certain people, I can definitely understand that sentiment. That was Swagger who said that?
Yeah.
I definitely understand the sentiment from a person like Swagger who probably wasn't as vocal for his career as maybe he should have been. A lot of guys are just happy to be there and they feel disenfranchised and, you know, they're complacent. Exactly. They leave to build up a better resume to try to prove to Vince that they're that kind of caliber star. There's a lot of people, Chris Jericho, one of them, before he achieved the success he has now, he's one of those guys that was like, hey, Vince, this is what I have for my character. This is the ideas I have. You know, literally knocked on the door. And Vince respects those who do it more so than people who just complacent. So if this is Jack Swagger's way of maybe boosting his career in the return to WWE, more for it. I'm more for the MMA run he's doing. I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
Too soon.
Yeah, that fight last night.
I think honestly, when Jack Swagger.
Hey, R-Truth made it.
I still think that Jack.
R-Truth, we're watching the commentary pre-show for
number 30 of the Women's Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
So we see that R-Truth right now.
Coming out. Oh, my bad.
My prediction is that he's coming out for the Women's Royal Rumble as 30. He's gonna be, oh, my bad.
Yeah, my bad.
That probably.
I think Jack Swagger is one of the guys that can do MMA and wrestling. I don't see him I see Jack Swagger coming back to wrestling and still doing MMA at the same time. And when he come back to wrestling, he's gonna be so big. And, you know, he might have another option besides WWE. So, we'll see how things play out.
Everybody
has other options.
You don't have to keep plugging it.
That's
Everybody
great.
has other
That's
options.
So great.
Now.
But not just about that. I'm just saying, you know,
we know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying? Ring of Honor something anything up too, man. They trying to
let's move on down the news.
Ring of Honor,
so there's actually news that Rey Mysterio might end up with a Latin stable in WWE,
which he wanted,
with Andrade and Sin Cara, who's been injured and is due for a return pretty soon. He's been traded in the Performance Center, so I think I'd love to see it.
I like to see it because that's what Ray wanted. This is what Ray wanted, so that's what I want to see it.
With that setup, I see Ray as maybe the manager, teacher. I see Andrade as the front man, and then Sin Cara as like either the tag team or enforcer.
I want to see Andrade turn face, but
I think that's the direction they're gonna go with. Rey Mysterio being the super baby face of the group.
I already said it. Andrade is gonna win the Rumble. That's mine.
I mean,
Drew McIntyre.
because there were a lot of reports that he was not happy. That
Andrade
was not. He was not happy, and that's why I kind of were seeing this.
I mean, a lot of people today got a lot of prediction. You know, you got I see my 2 predictions: Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
You know what? I'm gonna be the mark that says Kenny Omega comes out in WWE.
I'm still on the fence on that. I'm still on the fence. I'm like,
stop thinking that.
It's not happening. Watch Being the Elite. The cell phone countdown is still going on. All the countdowns right to AEW. I doubt they're gonna plug him leaving them to go to WWE. And yeah, there's not even hope that if it happens, I'm gonna be the first one jumping on my seat. But it's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen. Let's not forget he's still signed.
Moving on down the list. Speaking about people who are not happy, speaking of new teams forming and all that, WWE started to shift to a tag team focus, and they want Revival to be the face of the tag team division. And for those who think that the Revival's gonna leave, they're contracted to 2020.
They can't.
So rather than them up and go, they're more than likely gonna get this championship shine and be the face of the division. They'll probably end up leaving it in 2020, but why not reap the benefits now? On a good note, we have Roman Reigns finally gives us a health update. He says he's healing. You know, he emphasized on family healing and the fact that he has more time with his own family. He's also been making the movie Hobbs and Shaw alongside The Rock.
Check out the Instagram page. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
see pictures.
He plays The Rock's brother in
nice
Hobbs and Shaw. And they're gonna really show the Samoan background heritage. They're gonna focus on that a lot. Yeah, Roman looks like a beast. He hasn't lost weight. He looks healthy, man.
Looks jacked. Looking jacked, baby. I mean, when you have time off, you don't have to. You're not traveling all the time. You're not eating and at these hotels and this flight. You get to be
got
home
time to work out.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Recovery.
If nobody knows, this is pretty much like a Fast and the Furious type transition. So it's like how pretty much The Rock ends up doing what he's doing to get into the Fast and Furious. So we'll see how it goes. But you know, congratulations.
If he does good in this role, he can easily come back anytime. That franchise ain't going nowhere.
Look,
Fast and the Furious is definitely not going.
Doing a spinoff, I see a trilogy on that alone. Even before they
just look at Roman Reigns.
We're not even talking about the Fast and Furious actual.
Look at Roman. He looks like a star. Even if he wasn't a wrestler, he looks like a star.
He's like another Jason Momoa. He could fit almost any role. That
was a running joke that I actually had on the show for a while. That Roman doesn't really have leukemia. He's just filming Aquaman. I always kind of just like slide that in there, but yeah, I mean, come on.
So we got Dolph Ziggler finally confirming that he is on a hiatus from WWE. He's still contracted to them through a handshake deal. He wants to focus more on his comedy, and he's booked more tours. And he actually did say there's a possibility that he could do AEW down in the future, that it makes perfect sense. He acknowledged the fact he changed his name.
You want an exact quote?
You can give us the quote.
You never know. I think it will be a great thing. I think I'd be a great addition to that company. Yeah, I think I'd be a great addition to that company who seems to be full of true wrestling fans who support and love the sport. Oh my God, why can't I
The rumor is a direct
the true
quote,
wrestlers
by the
who
way.
love the sport and business. It's a great idea. Sorry, I couldn't wrap my mouth.
Focus got you counting sins over here, man.
Yeah, kind of my words.
So, Dolph Ziggler said it's a good idea, and who knows? We might see that in the future. But for right now, he still has a deal on the table with WWE. He also went against the rumors that he'll come back to WWE in a producer form. He said he does not see that for himself. If he comes back to WWE, it's as a wrestler, and he sees that maybe 10 years down the line.
Yeah.
Which I agree. He got enough time. I personally want him to go to AEW or anywhere else, build up Nick Namath as the wrestler, no influence of Shawn Michaels, No influence of Billy Gunn. Do your own shit. Become the show stealer again. You know, do your own shit. That's why he doesn't get the shine he is, because he's a caricature of two people.
I think he's
even Sweet Chin Music's now. Like literally tones it up. I don't want to see that no more.
I think Dolph Ziggler's also a victim of time. He got injured.
He's not a victim of time.
Nah,
he's a victim of lack of creativity and originality.
After WrestleMania 29, was it 29? Yes, it was 29. Was it 29? Okay, it was 29. When Alberto Del Rio was champion, he came out and he had remember when he was with Big E and AJ Lee? When he came out, when he was Money in the Bank, when he came out, that crowd went. But that's one of the biggest pops. Like
he did have a big pop,
but he got injured. He got concussion. So I think if he didn't get cussed, that might have been.
After that, what did he do?
Yeah,
he transitioned into the tights to look like Michaels. Started wearing the boots like Michaels. And he really was like, oh,
people
compare me to Michaels and Billy Gunn. Let me swerve into that lane instead of move out of that lane. I don't want Billy Michaels. I don't want Sean Gunn. I want Nick Namath. That's what I want. Moving on, they're talking about giving raises to people who are about to end their contracts. Up to a 50% increase.
Yeah, I bet.
Ridiculous.
I bet.
This is also stemming off of the TV deals that are coming in place. They have talks with Fox, ESPN, a whole bunch of other networks for the XFL.
And they're still getting that oil money.
SmackDown has the deal with Fox already, so they're getting that money up. And
that oil money.
Raises for the wrestlers.
I bet. Everybody is getting a raise.
We'll talk about the actual pay-per-view takeover at the end of the show, but I want to just list off the pre-show, which was the NXT Awards, and the people who actually got an award last night. So, Female Competitor of the Year went to Kairi Sane. Rivalry of the Year went to Gargano Ciampa, which we also gave the award for Best Rivalry of the Year on our holiday special.
Yes,
check that out.
Yes, we did.
We also have Male Competitor of the Year went to Tommaso Ciampa. Breakout Star of the Year went to Ricochet. Well deserved.
One and only.
Match of the Year, again, we gave them the same award. Andrade and Gargano. Tag Team of the Year went to Undisputed Era.
Yep.
Future Star of the Year went to Io Shirai. And the Takeover of the Year, again, the third prediction and the third award we gave was to take over New Orleans. Check out our holiday special, 2 parts, WWE, Ring of Honor, New Japan. Check that out. That was the NXT Awards.
Nice.
So, going on to Rousey, there's rumors that Rousey is going to be finished with WrestleMania after this WrestleMania. That's lies. People, she definitely came out and disputed those claims. She's contracted to 2021. She straight up said it. It's my vagina. It's my uterus. Stop planning my shit. Like, I'll do it when I feel like. This is something that she loves. She gained a liking for it, and it already spanned past her allotted time. So, whenever Ronda wants to have a baby, people just let her do it naturally. She's not going anywhere, and even if so, she'll probably come back. So,
exactly. It's wrestling. Never say that.
Moving on, we have OWE, which is partnered with AEW. They finally have a UK streaming service, so now people can reach their content and actually see what OWE is about. We have
there's
a new
also
deal.
YouTube. There's also YouTube.
Yeah,
They have a stream service, but there's YouTube.
But to get that rec content and probably more,
definitely more.
More matches, more events that they have.
Yeah, definitely more.
So WWE signed a new deal with New Era to produce a special line of hats, and they're going to be releasing, I think, monthly, up to 12 to 13 releases throughout the year. So look forward to that WWE New Era hats. And that is the news. That was the good news, the bad news.
Well, we got more news.
We have more news?
We have some.
Let's go.
We got some juice. Go ahead.
So pretty much update for Flip Gordon.
Flip.
Nice.
Flip.
More of that. Flip.
Unfortunately, he suffered an MCL tear.
Damn.
So,
your boy is doing 9 months plus.
Yeah. So he got his knee injury on January 13th in Concord.
That's just saying that he won't make it for Royal Rumble.
Well,
I don't think
the good news is that he doesn't need surgery.
Wow.
So, and then
That's my life.
the timetable for his recovery means he should be able to compete at G1 Supercard, which is sold out at Madison Square Garden on April 6th.
Really?
For
wow, okay.
I mean, he doesn't need surgery, so pretty much it's just
Okay.
rest up, you know, ice
good,
it.
good.
Don't
Glad he
do
doesn't.
anything.
Glad he doesn't. Yeah.
Don't flip.
I mean,
No word.
injury like that could really impact the way
Hell
he
yeah.
even moves. Because Flip Gordon, just his whole style depends on his life.
Facts.
Yeah.
Flip, you should go vegan during this recovery. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you to help out.
We
help out
also
crazy.
have Chris Sabin that also got injured. He's gonna be out of action for at least 8 months because he has a ACL tear.
Damn.
Serious stuff, man.
Yeah, so it's pretty much held him back. He has been scheduled to face Jay Lethal at the Road to G1 Supercard this past Friday, but he got replaced by Kingdom's own Vinny Marcella. So, you know, best of luck to Flip and Chris.
Flip,
You know,
Chris, definitely get better. K-Fib app supports.
you know,
Definitely
best
get better,
wishes
man.
to them.
That's
to
sad to
get
hear. And Flip was one of those people that I predicted would have a huge impact this year.
Yeah.
You know,
But he still could.
Yeah,
good.
I mean, let's see if he, you know, recovers in the next,
Hopefully.
you know, couple of
I
months.
mean, Flip is a fit guy, so let's hope a speedy recovery. On him.
Yeah. You also had some news today
And plus, he was on the verge of grabbing the brass rings too.
with
Right there,
John
man. He's
Cena.
right there, man.
Oh yeah, John Cena officially confirmed that
He's injured.
he's injured, won't be in the Rumble at all. But
Don't work yourself too shit,
it
brother.
was a word.
Don't work yourself too
That
shit,
was the
brother.
plan all along.
And
They
then
ever-
to replace him at the Royal Rumble will be Braun Strowman. So you know what? Get the hand.
Get him out. we don't
Yo,
want
let
him.
me
Also-
honest.
We don't want him.
I've cooled off on Braun Strowman. I'm sorry. I've cooled off on Braun Strowman.
I've cooled off on Braun Strowman too.
After
We
they
have
jobbed
so
him out-
many guys who deserve it more than him.
After they jobbed him out at Crown Jewel, I was just like, yeah.
It's just
It's past his time.
it is past
They
his
should-
time.
Which means that WWE is going to give it to him right now.
Probably.
Ugh.
That's what they always do. WWE is sometimes
We don't
literally
need
they're always like
him
2-3 months
to win
behind
that.
us. Like I don't know why, but
We need
it's-
a Drew. We
Look
need
how-
an
look how
Andrade.
old-
We need a
look how-
Seth.
Look how old JBL is looking right now.
It's John. I thought it was John Cena. But
I thought, I'm not even lying. I really thought that
I
was
mean,
John
see,
Cena.
I mean, he stole John. I mean, John Cena stole his hair.
and his suits.
We have some interesting things that happened at WWE Access this week.
What's going on?
What?
With the Royal Rumble. So first, like.
Not to cut you off, but this 3D Royal Rumble
Cool
display
for
looks
us.
crazy.
It's cool for us.
Yeah,
but
they-
No,
that
the
looks
live
dope.
audience don't see the
Yeah.
3D.
That looks dope as hell.
Sasha Banks recently came out and said WWE is going out of their way to make everybody happy because there's a lot of talent. There's a lot of companies opening up around the world. Her and Bailey did the Young Bucks pose with a fan at the Access. There's nothing big, but it's just interesting. It's just interesting. Paige says somebody asked her about her wrestling again. She said never say never, and I say with technology and Paige being in her 20s.
Wasn't her injury similar to what?
Spinal stenosis.
Oh no, that's an edge injury.
But I would say with
I thought it was similar to Danny Bryan's.
Nah, with technology and her being Paige is in her
They're
20s.
two different injuries.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. With technology though, we got a dude that was paralyzed with stem cells walking out. So you know what I'm saying? With technology,
Yeah, this.
we might, with her being in her 20s, another 10 years, we might see Paige wrestle again. We've seen from wrestlers, sometimes wrestling in your later years are better. AJ Styles put on some of the best stuff he did, and he's in his 40s. Shawn Michaels, Taker, all these guys put on 5-star matches in their 40s. So, we'll see. So, but that's really it for the news. That's really it for the news.
Well, we
'Cause
also
the
have-
other one pertained to takeover, so which way to takeover?
We also
I
have
actually have another tidbit too.
we also have during a recent Q&A, Stephanie McMahon revealed that she plans on having females referees on the main roster.
Well, that's what the last night.
We definitely mentioned that last night that we want that female referee for NXT to do more shit.
I'm tired of seeing the female referee on NXT just referee the female matches. She's a referee, like she's a ref.
Referee, like
facts. She's a ref. Ref's ref. No matter if she's a male or female. Like,
I'm looking. I can ref.
Yeah, that word.
Right?
It doesn't matter if it's a women's match. Like, refs are refs, so, like, let them ref. Like, it shouldn't even be, I don't even feel like this should be an announcement. It should not be an announcement. Like, you should see a female, like, it should not be a big deal for a woman ref to be officiating Brock and Finn tonight. She's a ref, so let her, like, come on.
Well,
exactly, let her ref.
A woman ref announced doing that. That is kind of big though, because that's history.
It is.
The first woman in a man's heavyweight championship match. That's big.
Hopefully, we'll get to a point where that's not even, or we won't even bat an eye at that.
We'll see.
Hopefully.
We'll see.
Yeah.
And then New Japan news, we have the Lion Pro Wrestling Heavyweight Champion Dragon George has challenged Okada to a singles match.
Nice.
So hopefully we'll see what happens with that.
With new beginnings happening, I think in like another week and a half, 2 weeks, we'll definitely have some more news and all that.
And Jay White won once again against the team of Okada and Tanahashi.
That's
I think he's like at 10 or 11.
And he just recently did an interview with Chris Jericho on Talking Jericho. I haven't checked it out yet, but I'm definitely interested. A lot of good wrestling content right now. A lot of good stuff going on right now.
There's a rumor too going around that the whole thing with Lars Sullivan catching anxiety was actually made up story
to avoid the
wellness policy.
Yeah. Hope not.
Hope not either.
For his sake, I hope not.
Because by all means, he should debut in this Rumble and go fucking nuts. Go fucking nuts tonight.
Yeah.
So
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Let's see what happens from that.
Yeah. So let's get into this good old Raw show, huh?
Alright, moving on to Raw. So Raw opens up with, it was Martin Luther King Day, and I just needed to highlight that because well done fucking package.
Yeah.
Go straight into a 10-bell salute that they have for Martin Luther King. That's something that they really never done before.
Yeah, never
WWE, so it kind of like stood out in my mind. The 10-bell salute usually goes to like, the wrestlers who pass away. So that was a little tidbit. I was like, oh, okay, this
they went extra, which is awesome.
Yeah, they went in. So the main show opens up with Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman coming up to the ring. They open the show. Typical Heyman thing. They were actually praising Finn Balor, but he comes with not predictions, but he comes with spoilers and that whole tidbit. Vince comes out, interrupts him, goes into the David and Goliath comparison. And
hold on. Because we have to talk about this story that Vince told me a little bit. So Vince, when you go back and watch it, Vince took David and Goliath from the Bible, took Jack and the Beanstalk, and threw mushrooms in there. Because he just started describing it was just like, something, David went and ate a bunch of mushrooms, and then he challenged Goliath and all. I was like, Vince, what fucking story are you talking about, bro? Like, what story are you? When did that ever happen, bro? And it's just like, oh, you're literally combined 3 different stories.
I think Vince ate a little bit too much mushrooms.
Vince had some mushrooms. I love Vince, but man, I love Vince.
Stay away from the mushrooms, Vince.
Vince, stay from attitude.
So, yeah, he tells the story and he added mushrooms. Probably he was playing too much Mario. Who knows?
Maybe he's booking some shit.
Maybe he's booking.
So, eventually Braun comes out and he starts his get the hands and I deserve it and I'll beat Brock and all that normal shit Braun does. Out comes Finn Balor. Pretty much says like, I'll beat him and I'll beat both of you. I believe. So Vince has a bright idea. He tells Brock, goes to the announcer's table. We're gonna have a match. Braun Strowman versus Finn Balor. I want to just point out Finn Balor was looking like a beast, holding his own against Braun Strowman and holding his own with outside interference from Brock Lesnar the whole match. Yep. This guy's drop kicking, flying over the ropes, literally battling 2 monsters at one time. It pretty much ends with Finn winning by DQ.
Yeah.
He actually hits the coup de grace on Braun Strowman. After he hits the coup de grace, he's about to beat Braun. F5 gets DQ'd.
That was my only issue with that. Like, I understand that you want to protect Braun, but to build the fact that you want people to believe that Finn can beat Brock, he should have absolutely pinned Braun 1, 2, 3, clean, squeaky clean. Brock should have gotten there, tried to hit him with the F5, lands on his feet, flattens Brock out. That's the visual you should have given us if you really want us to buy into. I mean, we buy into because we're marks. We want Finn to win. But for us to convince the general audience just off looks, if you just look at Brock and Finn, it's just like, yeah, right. You should have ended it with that. But I mean, it was fun. I got to take it. I have to.
Well, this Raw, as far as ratings, like, was very high in the start, and it took a record nosedive. And I kind of agreed with it. We were watching it together. You said that this was, you know,
it was a good self-contained show.
It was a good self-contained show, and we both agreed that this was a horrible go-home show to the Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble, one of your biggest shows.
They had none of the, you know, people posing against each other and trying to show how they could throw each other over the road. They didn't do none of that.
Sasha,
they didn't lean into none of that stuff.
They barely talked about it. And even the commentators didn't even put over the Royal. It was so weird. It was very peculiar. Because the week before they put over Glass, like, sheesh, the WWE have the ends with Glass because they put that over more than the Rumble.
So the next segment, we see Bobby Lashley. Of course, Bobby Lashley with Lio Rush, and he's celebrating his recent Intercontinental title win. They're showing off. Out comes Apollo Crews, finally, you know, stepping to the plate. This was probably his best segment.
It was
ever.
He showed more charisma in posing than he's. They had
a pose off,
which was funny
with the podium and everything.
Yeah, it was funny. It
showed personality, and that's all we really ever asked.
If he can show more of this, if Apollo Crews can show more of this, Apollo Crews will definitely be a future champion somewhere. I don't know what show, when, but somewhere in the future, more of that. Yeah, definitely more of that.
The pose off was a great segment, and he's straight into a match. Bobby Lashley versus Apollo, with Lashley, of course, coming out on top.
It was some Leo shenanigans.
Of course, Leo shenanigans, as it should.
It was a good spot because Apollo Crews had him in the press. He had Lio Rush in the press, and then Bobby Lashley came, boom, ran through him right through with the spear. So that was a good spot. It was a good match and a good spotlight for Apollo. That first hour Raw was really good.
So as Bobby Lashley wins, we have Seth Rollins come out, interrupt his celebration of his win, passes right by him, goes into the ring, starts cutting a promo. This was the only segment that put over the Royal Rumble.
What a babyface promo he cut. Gosh.
Typical stuff, you know, how he's got his hat into the Rumble. He's going to come out on top. He's going to be the Royal Rumble winner.
But you know what I liked? They did tie in Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose cut a little backstage promo. They both mentioned Martin Luther King, so that was cool. That they tied things in.
Each other.
Yeah, and they tied things in. I'm saying it was Martin Luther King Day, but it's nice to use that in the promos to just not just put that out there. So that was cool.
So
that's the stage.
It leads to Drew McIntyre.
They're in the baseball field, that's why.
They're coming out.
They're in the baseball field.
At the Royal Rumble, they're coming out to the dugouts.
I'm looking at that too, like, that's the stage? Like, what the? But it's a baseball field, so that's dope.
But as they move on.
Believe me, I've seen Impact at the baseball stage. They're doing a lot better, believe me. No offense to Impact.
Yeah, so we have Drew McIntyre come out, and he's pretty much cutting his promo against Seth, saying how he's going to win the Royal Rumble.
Oh my God.
Damn. So we watch wrestling as we're recording wrestling. We're watching the Royal Rumble pre-show, and Chad Gable and Bobby Roode are coming out, and somehow, some way, the cameraman, the main one, just boom, caught it. He caught his tightest world slide on us.
Shout out to the cameraman.
Shout out to the cameraman. I'm glad it was the cameraman. I thought it was one of them that
fell. I thought so too.
Oh my gosh.
They got the Titantron above them.
Oh.
You know what I need?
I guess this year's award
Wow.
for best
So
moment
far,
goes to the
best-
cameraman.
Yeah, best epic fail. So,
That's gonna be our reward.
moving on through Raw. Moving on through Raw, we have the Revival backstage talking to Vince, and they pretty much, you know, giving their case. We want another to try. This leads to Kurt Hawkins passing by and getting involved with the segment. They make Kurt Hawkins the referee for the match.
That was a really.
I actually appreciated this.
Yeah, that was a cool visual though, because you know they just asked for the release. And,
Yeah.
And it was said that they would ask for the release in their
Vince is
trunks.
playing on all of this.
So it's dope to
He's
see them
playing on
them
all
backstage
of
in the
this.
trunk. Yeah, that was dope. That was dope.
So they turn out to say, hey, you know what? We give you.
Oh wow!
He's without AOP, without his other member.
I thought they were,
Without the P?
I guess this is one.
Right.
Without the P? So we got A?
We got authors.
We got the A
We
and
got the
O?
author.
We got the
We don't
authors.
got the pain yet.
We got the authors.
So
So he's gonna. It's a handicap?
It's the
They made-
No. What? Oh. Okay.
Oh.
see now you talk about a
They are
Titantron. See,
not.
They needed that. Okay,
Wait.
it's a triple threat match. This look like it's gonna be a triple threat match.
So
this is
singles?
not even scheduled.
Nah, this
It
is
looks
pre-show
like-
This
action.
is pre-show.
It
This
looks
wasn't
like
even
Dawson's
scheduled.
Yeah.
gonna be.
But it's for the
Razor's
SmackDown
partner.
tag team?
No, I think it's just
There's
a
no
triple.
tag. This is Raw. They're
It's
all
raw.
Oh.
So now this is just a triple. I think it's gonna be a triple threat match. Yeah.
No, I think that
It has to be a triple threat.
Oh no, Dash is gonna team with
AOP.
with
That's what I'm
AOP.
saying.
Nice.
With the A, not the
With
P.
the A, with the author.
Really? So
The
Okay.
wait,
authors
I'm
of
kind of
Revival?
confused.
Nice.
Authors of Revival. Nice.
Oh man, NXT fans, man, we're just.
What the hell's going on here?
That's what I'm saying.
Antham's
Like,
injured.
All right.
Aikman-
Let's not
Aikman's
talk
injured.
about the Rumble. That's for the next episode.
Yeah,
Let's
we'll
talk about
get into
Raw.
that.
Let's get through this Raw segment. We're halfway through. The
Sorry.
Revival talking events. They end up in a special referee match for the titles later on, with Kurt Hawkins becoming the special referee.
Mhm.
Next segment we have Lucha House Party versus Jinder and the Singh Brothers. Not much to say. Lucha House Party wins.
It was there.
Next up, we got the EC3 promo, and they're leading into finally debuting him soon on the show. After the promo, we have EC3 talking with Dana Brooke, and she's asking him about nutrition and how he gets so fit. We have Elias passing by them, which leads to our next
Wait,
segment.
did he say anything? Because I thought
No, he was talking to Dana Brooke.
no.
He was
He didn't say nothing.
listening.
He was
He was listening.
He was
To
listening.
Dana Brooke. Let me correct myself. All right. Yes. Stands for.
I miss this Elias.
We have Elias in the ring, and he's doing his, usual stick. We have Baron Corbin come out and interrupt him. This leads to a match between them.
Unpopular opinion, Baron Corbin is Raw's biggest heel. You don't like it?
Yeah.
Listen to the crowd reaction when Baron
It's
Corbin
true.
comes back. He is their biggest heel.
And Corbin wins. I feel like Elias should have won this.
They flatten Elias out to turn the babyface.
Yeah.
That's why I kind of don't
Yeah.
like that. But Baron
So,
Corbin, yo,
Corbin
Baron
is a
Corbin
winner.
is Raw's biggest heel. I like it. Yo. I like
The
it.
next segment we have is
Ooh.
Moment of Bliss, and she's talking about the Royal Rumble and the participants.
He has two segments. So Seth mentioned it in his promo, and then we got Alexa Bliss putting over
But this
the
was for the women's Royal Rumble though.
yeah.
But we had none of that posturing that we usually get. None of that like
Over
actual Rumble
the
feel.
over the top rope spots.
So she basically plugged in the women's Royal Rumble. The participants come out. They end up in a break brawl. The highlight of this was Lacey Evans making her debut and pretty much saying, "All these ladies are savages.
Yeah.
You need a real woman."
And you know, I really liked Lacey. I really liked her more because when she came out, when she snatched the mic from Alexa Bliss, her hat went over her face. I know it's a little thing, but she just jumped.
Just
Huh?
like a lady.
Like a lady, just flipped it back and cut her promo.
Like
and
a
it's just,
lady.
it was so dope. And we got, I don't want to ruin it if you're going to say it. I'm going to say it because,
can say it.
Little Miss Bliss came out and made an announcement
Yeah.
too. And I kind of feel like she kind of stole her thunder a little bit because,
She's finally greenlit to wrestle,
greenlit.
and she's gonna debut again
Make her
tonight.
read
He's making a debut.
read
Oh,
the butt.
read the butt.
Read the butt. Because she's been out for like 4 or 5 months.
Last year she sat out of the Royal Rumble as well.
She was champion last year.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
she's making her Royal Rumble debut tonight. We have Alexa Bliss finally back in a competitive way. So
Yeah, more of that.
that was Moment of Bliss.
Definitely.
Next up was Ascension versus Heavy Machinery. It was a good match, but it was basically just to focus on Heavy Machinery, their style in the ring, and basically give the fans a little taste of what we're going to get. So,
Stick it weights.
after the Ascension Heavy Machinery stuff, we get the Revivals.
But don't you think they
tag
should have
team
just done that from the beginning?
Well,
We
with
didn't,
Heavy
we
Machinery.
didn't need him coming out being that weird horny goblin with Alexa Bliss.
They wanted
just did this.
we didn't need it. We didn't. But they were trying to lean into the comedy and show what they bring to the table as far as comedy.
Yeah.
This was the first time they got action and strong
They look
dudes,
strong, man. They look good,
big
man.
guys who can actually move around the ring. They fly around this ring.
That Caterpillar is gonna be such a hit. Gosh,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
So we move on to the Revival versus Bobby Roode and
No fists.
Gable.
No fists. No, I mean, no flips. Just fists.
Now this match was funny because the Revival the entire time they're basically just trying to win by cheating.
I love this
So
story they told in this
they
match.
go from transition to transition to transition.
They try to like get the trunks,
And-
then try to like sneak roll out, like all kinds of stuff.
Foot
Yeah.
on the ropes.
Word.
But
So-
you had Kurt Hawkins as the special guest referee throughout this whole.
He was a hell. He wasn't he a hell of a referee. He was calling everything.
Yeah. EA wants to shout us out and say the Raw Tag Team match started on the pre-show. We watch wrestling during.
Yeah.
We're
talk
watching
about
it now.
Oh, we're watching now,
right
brother.
now, bro.
We
If you
definitely
didn't see
watching now.
the best epic fail in the beginning, you
Oh,
should
the
rewind
cameraman.
it. Yeah.
Facts.
So obviously this match doesn't end with the Revival taking the gold, but it does end with Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder forming back together.
Edgeheads.
So the Major Brothers. That's what
That what they were called?
That's what they were called, the Major Brothers.
Okay.
So we finally got the Major Brothers back,
Nice.
and
When's the last-
that's a good look for the tag team.
Think about that visual. When's the last time you seen Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder standing inside a Raw ring together and not being just holding people back or being just jobbed out?
Yeah,
That's.
they're actually being built to become something.
Listen,
so.
as much shit as I'm always gonna give them shit, man. I love the fact that these guys are getting pushed despite whatever the reason. I don't care what the reason is. They're being pushed. They should be. So
Yeah.
it's awesome.
So to pretty much wrap up Raw, we have Ronda Rousey
Some
She,
reputation.
cuts a very good promo backstage.
The rambly.
People-
Yeah, I love it.
People like to give her shit,
I
but
love it. I love
you
it.
can actually see that she's on the spot thinking of her shit, and even when she stumbles a little bit, she recoups really fast.
Because that's what people do in real life.
So yeah, so she gave a good promo, which led to her going straight. I love these little segments they're
Yeah,
doing
definitely more.
at
of
the
that.
gorilla position,
Yeah, they need to do more. of that.
where she's talking her shit and then goes pulls the
into-
curtain right into the stage, right into the arena. So we had Sasha and Bailey versus Ronda and Natty. It was a good match, good back and forth. The women had the main event for the night. We have Sasha and Bailey coming out on top.
This is technically,
Sasha ends up beating Natty with the bank statement,
which is technically.
and Raw ends with Ronda and Sasha squaring off, and
Ronda Rousey is technically
Eye to
her first
eye.
loss. Yeah, it's technically her first loss.
yeah,
Because
we
it's
didn't even look at it that
technically-
way.
Yeah, it's technically her
It's
first loss.
technically Ronda's first loss.
I love this. I love the way they've been building Sasha Banks. I wish it was going on for a little bit longer so I could really fully invest
I wish it
in
was legitimate that she would win the title tonight, but
Yeah, no, but yeah,
I know she's gonna lose.
it's gonna be a good
and
match though.
They're gonna
It's gonna
build
be a good
her for
match.
the tag team division, for the women's tag team division. I don't see anyone else.
Actually, Sasha Banks says something very, very
Oh my
interesting.
God, they beat the Revival again.
Well, the author of Revival.
Oh,
Yeah. Sasha Banks says something very interesting. Though.
I still want to know
why they
what's
did
this like setup going on.
It's because they're at a baseball field.
No, not.
Oh.
I know the stage setup.
Why the Revival
Why
just
do I
merged with the
thought-
Authors
yeah.
of Pain?
Why the author of
Because
Revival?
Because the show must go on even though somebody's injured.
Yeah.
But the other guy in the Revival's not injured.
That's
So-
what you're trying to figure out.
That's who Drake Maverick picked.
Are we moving on to SmackDown?
We are gonna move over to SmackDown. Right before we move over to SmackDown.
Wait. Maybe you don't know where you are right now. Before you huff and you puff and you blow the house down, let me remind you
Are you gonna just say the whole thing, or are you gonna?
I have to find a way.
I thought you were gonna go in a Three Little Piggy story. Which I'm down for.
Word.
Let me remind you that this is the house that
So
yeah,
on to
man.
SmackDown.
On to SmackDown. So the show opened up with Damon Becky Lynch cutting the promo on Asuka,
Damon.
and I love the way that I hope they do this more with Asuka. Asuka was responding to Becky, but she was yelling off mic in Japanese. I love it. It just makes her more badass. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? We don't always need to understand what she's saying, and it's okay. You know what I'm saying? And after this.
Wait. Leo Russ is on the screen.
Man of the hour. You know
With
what
a
I'm
shirt?
saying? With a shirt. That's a
With a
dope
shirt.
shirt. That's a fly shirt. I legitimately like that shirt. I would get that shirt. You might see me on the show in a couple of weeks with that shirt. Shout out to the man of the hour, Leo Rush. But anywho, back over to SmackDown line, the A show. This brings out Charlotte Flair. I don't know if Charlotte is a heel or a face, but she's just kind of awesome. Who knows? Whatever. But she comes out, and I love the way she broke it down. She said, "Listen, Asuka, if you beat Becky, it doesn't matter. I beat you at WrestleMania. Becky, yeah, you've been getting over me a couple of months, but I know I can beat you. Ronda, I beat the shit out of you at Survivor Series, and I've been beating Sasha Banks for years." So she basically gave her it doesn't matter who wins what, it doesn't matter, she can come out on top. That's basically what her thing is, and I loved it. This led into Asuka and Becky getting into a brawl. They brawl from the front, all the way to the backstage. I love that they're doing more of that now. They're showing more backstage stuff. And this led into the finally anticipated match of Mandy Rose and Naomi. You know, I like the story that they've been trying to tell. I just wish they would just do it a little bit better. That's all. Just do it a little better.
How?
PG.
Like here it is. So you have twins, right?
Yes.
Jimmy could have easily been like, when Mandy gave him the letter from like last week, Jimmy could have easily been like, yo, you know, Oos, this is how we're gonna handle it. You could have seen Jimmy taking off his stuff, handing it to Jay. They go to the hotel room. First off, you should have just showed the security footage of Jimmy walking up to the thing. You could have saved that for next week. Boom. You see him put the hotel key floor down on it. He goes into it, kisses Mandy Rose, and then Mandy has a guy come out there, take the pictures. Oh, I got you. Opens the door. No, it's really Jay she was kissing. It was Jimmy. Have Naomi come out. You have twin magic. Utilize the twin magic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see what they're doing with that storyline. They could just do it better. Anyway, I don't got no problem with it, but you could just do it better, WWE. Naomi and Mandy Rose had a good match. Sonya Deville interfered, and Mandy Rose, so I guess this feud got to continue. I like both of them. WWE, just do it better. This next match was Cesaro versus The Miz. Cesaro obviously had Sheamus with them. Miz had Shane McMahon. And you know what? They're growing on me. Every time I see... Yeah, see, like I was talking about. Nobody knows if Charlotte is heel or face. But at this point, it doesn't even matter. She's just a badass, so that's okay. The Miz and Shane McMahon are growing on me. I'm not gonna lie. Every time I see them together, I kind of starting to believe in them more and more and more. Cesaro ended up winning this match with his finisher. At the end of the match, it was a good match. It was a typical match. Cesaro ended up winning. Shane McMahon gets laid out with a bro kick, but it wasn't a regular bro kick. I mean, they held this man's face, held his chin up, and you just see it. You just see the boom, 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 boom. He had like his footprint like all over his face.
Richie definitely made sure we were watching it.
Yeah, he just boom, boom, boom. Cause it was crazy. He just knocked the shit out of him. Then cause you guys left the movies, right?
Yeah, we was at the movies.
Then at the end, the bar picked up Shane, threw him through Miz through the table. Next we got AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan in their face off with Vince McMahon moderating. I love Vince, but I kind of just don't want to see Vince on TV anymore. It's just. I mean, I understand why he was there. Because he got the whole thing with AJ going on, but it was just like, whatever. I love the fact that Daniel Bryan wouldn't get in the ring because he said AJ Styles was crazy for throwing onto that throwing onto all that animal carcass with him throwing onto the hot dogs last week and all that. And this is a good back and forth promo. Daniel Bryan is literally like, his promo work is just like some of the best.
Captain Planet.
Captain Planet is cutting some of the best promos. He cut a promo on Vince. He cut a promo on AJ. It was awesome. It's definitely worth your time to go back.
He's just keep cutting promos on us.
And it's true. It's just like if you listen to what he's saying, it's right. But the way he's saying he's such a dick is just like, you know, God damn it. But yeah. So so AJ Styles says, you know what, Vince, it's okay. He don't kind of come in the ring. I can go after him. Daniel Bryan, AJ Styles ends up chasing Daniel Bryan around. He gets the better of Daniel Bryan. AJ Styles goes for a phenomenal forearm. Daniel Bryan pulls Vince in front of him, so he stops, gets down, big knee, and that's the way to end the segment. Samoa Joe versus Mustafa Ali, and I love the fact that Mustafa Ali cut a promo earlier, and like he did it like on the street. It was like a real gritty kind of feel, you know what I'm saying? Like he didn't say anything too amazing, but if you did that same promo in a backstage with just like a random announcer, it wouldn't have had the same feel. But the fact that it was on the street, it was black and white, it was a really real promo. It was really real. Samoa Joe won this match. I thought he should have. It was a good match, but Samoa Joe ended up choking him out with the Coquina Clutch. And this is cool because we got this. What SmackDown did from Raw differently, everything was built towards the Royal Rumble. Everything was geared towards the Royal Rumble.
Something that Raw had to do.
Yeah, Becky was talking about, her promo was about the Royal Rumble. Mustafa Ali's promo was about the Royal Rumble. AJ and Daniel were talking about the Royal Rumble. Everything was leading towards the Royal Rumble. Then we had a New Day segment next, which was their, I forgot, I can't remember her name. She's beautiful, but the random kind of faceless, no personality announcers that, I'm sorry. Yeah, exactly. Because all of them are kind of like no personality. Oh, so New Day, what's your strategy going to the Royal Rumble? All of them kind of just ask the same generic ass questions, no personality.
Can be like Mean Gene.
They feel like they're all clones because they just kind of, what are you gonna do tonight? And we had a Tony Kimmel cameo. He's one of the old announcers. He's the guy that used to say, "And a rated R superstar."
he came out and was like, yo.
Yeah. It's like, what's his name? The one who goes, yeah.
He's one of the new ones. I think he's one of the new ones.
Cena!
Justin Roberts? Justin Roberts to AEW.
Huh?
Justin Roberts to AEW.
You don't have a Cena there.
And next we have this. It's like Jean-Claude Van Damme in them old movies.
It just reminds me of the screen. That's all it reminds me of. It's just like
that's why you need to screen.
You got like the venom tongue just.
That's why we need to screen so they just went to each of us just going. So we get to this main event, and this main event was crazy. It was Andrade. Just Andrade. I'm a home seeing on this versus Rey Mysterio in a 2 out of 3 falls match. This match is exactly how it sounded. It was awesome. Flips, tricks, a Mexican delivering a Canadian destroyer in America. It was just everything, okay? It was crazy. International, okay? We were crossing borders over here, breaking down walls, pun intended. But then this match, Andrade got the first fall, Rey Mysterio got the second fall, and it was closing down until Samoa Joe came and interfered. Joe. Yo, throughout the entire SmackDown, Samoa Joe looked out like a beast. He looked like a straight beast from beating down Mustafa Ali. You gotta get that. That's the word. She spoke, so you gotta do what we do. He choked out Rey Mysterio, and he didn't choke out Andrade, but he threw Andrade against the turnbuckle. And then as Samoa Joe was standing tall, boom, out of nowhere, RKO.
Oh
out of nowhere. God. And it was crazy.
I kind of forget Randy's on SmackDown sometimes.
That's kind of the dope thing.
But I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
RKO out of nowhere.
It's like, where's Randy?
Where's Randy Orton? Where's Randy Orton? Boom! There he goes, RKO. That's where it is. RKO and people out of nowhere.
I loved it though, because like Samoa Joe was like, I'm the one who's gonna win the Raw, and then just like before you even finish that sentence, like
boom.
And it's like
that's what I love. That everything around SmackDown was really. I feel like this was a really fantastic show for SmackDown because everything was centered around the Royal Rumble, and they still have separate feuds. My only down for SmackDown. How do you not feature Shinsuke Nakamura or Rusev SmackDown? Bad SmackDown. But other than that, yeah, that's it.
Look, showing Nakamura.
And I even liked Raw. It was a good Raw, but as far as a go home show, come on, man. This is Royal Rumble. This is not Armageddon. This is not
I think
Champions.
Raw would have done better if they would have kept Brock and Finn for the.
It should have been more than one segment.
Either right before the women's segment for the main event, or do more than one segment. Like,
they could have easily
totally like
hype it up.
They could have easily
or even Finn attack one another.
Oh look,
that's what I'm saying.
You
That's
wish
what I'm
he
saying.
too.
Yeah.
He used the same suit and turned it red.
What they could have did.
Gosh,
They should have just had a backstage segment right before the main event or right after the main. No, it should have been because women should have the main event. We should have seen Finn and Brock. We should have seen people trying to pull Finn and Brock apart. And that's all we needed was a minute of Brock and Finn just fighting in the back, and that would have been it.
Yeah,
that's it. Oh yeah, go back on live. Yeah.
Shinsuke's Harabu suit went from blue to red.
Blue to red. You blood and crippin' out here.
No.
But shall we get to this main event? Shall we get to this cracking NXT show? Oh no, we can't.
We gotta go to
live. Sorry.
205 live.
Sorry. I was just really excited about that takeover, man. Sorry, man.
So for this 205 live.
205.
205. We had the.
You sure it's not? Leo 5?
Leo wasn't there.
Oh.
No.
So,
man.
No Leo 5 live today. It's just normal ass 205 live. But, and I use but as a segue, these have the butt for Adrian English as a commentator.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he shifted into a commentator?
For now.
For 205
He's not
live
retiring,
now.
but he just did it for.
Is he injured or something?
I'm not sure.
No.
He's just there.
I read the report. Yeah, he's not injured. He's just doing commentary. Yeah. Remember CM Punk did that for a while?
I mean,
when he wasn't even injured, he just did commentary for a while.
He was injured during the commentary.
Oh, he was? But you know what? Sometimes this could be good because sometimes a lot of wrestlers can benefit from this. From people who just, we know that he
got
sing.
the voice for it, yeah.
Exactly. We know that he can sing, but people hear him talk, that could open up eyes and people just might want to push him just because, hopefully.
So the first match of the night is Grand Metalik versus Humberto Carrillo.
Not Alberto Del Rio, folks. Alberto Carrillo. They gotta do something.
The nephew of Patrick Garza.
Yeah, he was a fantastic wrestler.
So
Who? I don't know him.
You don't know Patrick Garza?
Nah.
Need that sound.
He made a debut last week in WWE with was it 205 Live?
He was on 205 Live
And NXT versus Johnny Wrestling, man.
Johnny Wrestling and Bunny
He put on
Murphy.
2 cracking matches like 2 nights in a row, man.
Technically, it's not Johnny Wrestling anymore. It's Johnny
Failure.
Takeover.
Johnny Failure.
Oh, we're gonna get into that.
It's Johnny Takeover.
We're gonna get into it.
I can't wait to get to it.
Yes.
Come on, yeah.
We just want to talk about TakeOver.
Yes.
So, anyways, back to the match. They shake each other's hands to show respect. Very fast-paced match with a bunch of high-flying spots. Carrillo does a corkscrew drop dive to the outside and lands on his feet, which was pretty amazing. Then Carrillo does a top rope diving bulldog, smashing Metalik's face on the apron. Carrillo was on the apron, and Grand Metalik does an over-the-top rope diving Hurricane Rana to the floor, which had to hurt. Both of them at least. And then he follows it up with a springboard Swanton Bomb that looked better than Jeff Hardy's. So shout out to Metalik on that. More of that.
Yeah. Daniel Bryan said he wanted to face him in a mask versus hair match.
Oh yeah.
Captain Planet.
Yeah, because Grand Metalik is like one of the best heels that nobody knows about.
I have to throw it out there. It's Captain Planet.
So Carrillo gains momentum with a missile drop kick and gets the win with the Arabian press for the win, and that's the move that Jeff Hardy used to do where he dives up on the turnbuckle and then hits the ropes to do the moonsault slash.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It was a great match. I like Carrillo. He showed his all his offense and everything, and shout out to Metalik, because I would definitely want to see him versus Daniel Bryan.
That would be awesome.
That would be a great match.
It might, man. He's been putting over 205 guys a lot. He's put over Hideo Itami, now Grand Metalik.
Yeah.
Mustafa Ali, that's why Mustafa Ali got the position he got, so, you know.
So we move on to the backstage segment with Drake Maverick, and he explains why he signed Carrillo to 205 Live in front of Drew Gulak and Jack Gallagher. Gulak tries to say something, but he's left speechless, and then he just screams his way out. And then Tony Nese comes in asking
Cannon leaf shot.
a rematch for against Noam Dar, since he wants to shut Noam Dar's mouth up for good, and Drake Maverick said he'll consider it. So Tony Nese said, I guess he'll have to find another way to get back at him. We'll see what happens with the APAC guy.
They've been building Tony Nese up for a little while, which I'm happy.
Finally.
Before he used to lose all the
Strong
time.
guy.
Finally.
Yeah, hell yeah.
He's small, but he's strong.
There's
dude.
8 reasons why you should watch Tony Nese.
And I don't want to count none.
So
I would love to count.
I don't even want to count it.
I would gladly count that for you anytime.
Wow.
Mom,
So-
get it on.
So we move on to a promo with Akira and Kendrick, and Akira can actually speak English pretty well now, so expect him to be getting some kind of push in the future.
Nice.
Since now he could cut an English promo.
Definitely more of that.
More of that. And then we have a promo with Lynch Dorado and Kalisto. It was a really good promo, showing off that they can actually cut promos as well. I would like to see more of that because I feel like Kalisto and Lynch Dorado don't really speak too much at all or give any type of promo. So
Oh, they actually got their little shine on the mic this week?
yeah.
Mhm.
So check that out. And then the transition to the match that they had, Kalisto versus Akira versus Tommy. Murphy comes out to sit at commentary. It was a great match, showcasing all their skills. Kalisto and Akira was about to give Tommy a superplex, but Murphy comes in and power bombs them all. Murphy starts beating them up. The match is still going on though, as it's a triple threat match, so there's no disqualification. Tommy gives Akira a Falcon Arrow, and he somehow kicks out of it.
Nobody can sell that
That's what I'm saying.
It's crazy.
How you kick out of the Falcon Arrow? So,
Big strong boys.
anyways, so Tommy wins by after hitting his finisher, which is basically like a spinning code breaker on Akira Tozawa
Nice.
for the win.
Nice.
I just want to flashback to the pre-show that's going on right now.
Yes, the context.
That was a great little spot he
forth.
did.
Yeah, these guys are
Rusev shoulder tackle, Shinsuke rebounds off the ropes and then does a spinning heel kick.
I just have to put it out there. Rusev's trunk is repping Kingdom Hearts.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the colors
It is.
of Sora's vest.
Oh.
Maybe he's a fan. Or is it
Kingdom Hearts
Kingdom
Hearts
Hearts-
is coming out on
aren't,
Tuesday.
Aren't they sponsored? I think there's probably
Yeah,
one
they are
sponsor. So
sponsoring
it
it.
makes sense.
So
Good
good
pro-
job,
Good
Rusev.
product placement.
Yes.
You should have had a keyblade on it.
Are we
Right?
Are we
keep
moving on?
Are we ready to talk about this main
No,
event?
no.
We're ready
Talk
to
about
talk
the
about this
NXTs. We still got
Wow.
regular shows.
NXT.
NXT UK.
Nah, NXT, I actually watched NXT UK this week. It was really good. Nah, I'm excited because somebody I'm gonna let him get it.
So
NXT.
I'm excited because
Now NXT takeover.
So
NXT.
NXT starts off
Just
with the experience.
ooh.
Velveteen Dream comes out and says that he has something special in his eyes. He said that he wants the North American Championship. And Adam
More of
Cole
baby.
comes out with Bobby Fish and says that Undisputed Era is going to win all the gold in 2019. They try to rush
More
the
of that.
Dream, but
Definitely more of
he throws him over the top rope and then heads to the back.
that.
to end the
Yeah,
segment.
but the way he did it, he
He
threw
got
him over the right. It's like just
Yeah, you know you did that.
with style.
just slide that way. just slide it this way. It was like
Still sliding. You're ready on frame. He's like trying to get out of all the cameras.
out of all of
Trying to get out of all the
them.
camera frames. We have a full camera setup going on right now. Trying to get out of all those frames.
Trying to
It's
take
hard,
my
it's
gimmick.
hard,
Look
it's
at this. What is
Yes.
going on?
All I know is the people over there have no
That's my
idea.
line.
Oh,
That's my line.
What they-
That's my line.
That's my line. That's my line. That's my line.
Wow.
Kayfabe Age is behind right here on this camera. But then if I move this way, then like.
And this is the show.
We have many angles.
Plus, everybody just wants to see me anyway. So.
True.
Not true.
Not true. As long as
And not true.
As long as I'm on the screen, right?
As you know, one of us. Last week I was cut out on the Instagram, so now it's like, you know, AJ, you be fine. Kayfabe Ab is fine. It's just like this is what we do over here, guys.
Yeah.
So the next segment is a video package of Shayna and Bianca Belair's feud. It was a great package.
They kind of rammed that home over the takeover. Takeover pre-show.
There was many video packages that NXT did. I believe they had Aleister Black and
anything Aleister Black, man. Anything Aleister Black is gold.
So then the next match is Lorky and Birch versus Acher and Barthel. It was a great fucking match, very hard hitting. Acher does a springboard to a springboard moonsault, and Lorky and Birch get the upset win after Lorky rolls Acher up after missing a springboard move. But it was a great match. I recommend everybody seeing that match. There was two great tag teams.
Can't leave shot.
Where you go? You know what happens when you leave
just gonna go.
during my segment.
I'm listening to everything you're saying.
The book came out.
You just made the list.
I just make the.
He made the book.
Did I make the book?
He made the kayfabe.
Did I just make the book? Did I just make the book? Wow.
That's Richie with an I, not a Y.
No, you.
Wow.
That's my
That's my line.
That's my
That's my line. That's my line. You know, Focus. It's your segment, but I'm cutting you off right now. Okay, I'm
You can't do me, and I'm cutting you off right now.
Woo! Woo!
No, you know what? Just everybody's just gonna have a page, and I'm just gonna tally everything up. So you see, this is Richie's list. How many tallies he gets in the book.
I'm just saying, you don't know anything about being focused on the kayfabe or the ring.
You know what it looks like? It looks like Focus came over there, took a dump, and that's what's left over there. That's what you got.
All right, so let's go.
Sorry, guys.
let's get to
Richie's
the
in the
next
book
match,
forever. That's
which
it.
is Io Shirai and Kairi Sane, the Black Lotus duo versus two jobbers, Tania Brooks and Amber Nova. It was a squash match. It was basically just to showcase the Black Lotus duo moves. They went after a pop-up elbow drop from Kairi Sane and a pop-up moonsault from Io. It was a great match though. Shout out to the Black Lotus duo.
Just hit him with the
Hopefully
shoe.
Mayu will come.
Oh, I knew that was gonna happen.
Oh, poor Lana.
There's always Lana. Let's continue with this coverage though.
So, like I was
Take
saying,
shots.
Oh,
hopefully Mayu,
Oh.
hopefully NXT signs Mayu so we can have the Black Lotus Triad and NXT.
really?
Holy shit.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Holy
Wow.
shit.
Royal Rumble.
So we give them a
starting
spoiler?
off Crazy. Hell yeah, we give a spoiler. Like anybody's like they're not watching it. So we have a new United States champion, Shinsuke Nakamura.
In the crazy fashion.
That was he. Did she really? Oh yeah, she.
It looked like she hurt her leg for real.
It kind of looked like she twisted it.
See, that was a legit bump. As opposed to
I would've
Ooh,
threw-
that was a legit Kinshasa
opposed
too.
Yeah, it
to the one they
was.
tried to sell on SmackDown. That was a bump right there. Man, that was a cracking match.
I would have threw the shoe at him.
Damn, that was a good
Damn.
match.
Let's get to this NXT.
Yeah, let's get.
Let's fight.
That was a good match.
Let's
though,
get through
man.
this. Let's get through this.
Damn, man. That's what I'm talking about. Pre-show delivering on both matches. Let's go. Let's go if we get a Shinsuke Nakamura push. Sorry, I got hype, man. I got hype. That's my man, Shinsuke, man. I was watching some New Japan the other day. He used to deliver those king shit. Good God. Good God, did he deliver those king
Like,
shots?
look at this 3D action. Come on.
I know that we can see that the live audience can't.
So we got 37 minutes until Royal Rumble. Anyways, back
Let's
to the
go.
show.
So the next match is the Velveteen Dream
Ooh.
versus Bobby Fish.
Experience.
Nice.
So Velveteen Dream wins after a Dream Valley driver and a Purple Rainmaker. Shout out to
Dream
the
Valley
Undisputed
Driver.
Era for Bobby Fish for.
I'm still
giving us a
upset at
great match as
Takeover.
well.
Just saying. Just gonna put it out there. It was a good pay-per-view, but still. To not have the experience at Takeover.
Oh, he was.
He was there, but
Oh, he was.
The Dream has no memory of that.
Oh, he was. He actually played when we get to the Takeover, I'll talk about that. He played a bigger part than I think many people. Why they didn't show it, but he played a bigger part in Takeover than we got to see on TV.
The Dream has no memory of that.
Oh, the network.
so next.
So the final segment comes out with Ricochet coming out to confront Johnny Failure, and Johnny comes out saying
Johnny Takeover.
So Johnny comes out and saying that his old self would just rush the ring, and that his new self would have a plan. So they start fighting in the ring, and Ricochet just throws Johnny Failure out to the apron. Tommaso comes out and attacks Ricochet and throws him outside. Johnny attacks Ricochet. Aleister Black comes out to attack Tommaso. Johnny makes a save. And Schubert kicks Holy shit, that was loud.
Yeah,
Shit,
that was
loud.
loud.
God damn.
And
That was the enthusiasm of the crowd.
DIY starts
True.
beating down Ricochet and Aleister Black. Tommaso goes to shake Johnny's hand, and Candice comes out and says no to end NXT.
Not for nothing, just to go back to that. Alistair was throwing those real kicks at Tommaso Ciampa. Like, those were some hard kicks to the face.
They had a hard hitting
Like,
match.
just.
Definitely more of that. Definitely more of that. More of that.
Alright, what's
Like that,
next?
so what?
So, you guys want to talk about the takeover, or you want me to go to
Dude,
UK?
go run your gauntlet, man.
So, anyways, NXT UK, Pete Dunne comes out, cuts a promo, Gallus comes out, Joe Coffey says that the war is far from over, and when
It's
it
just-
does,
it's like-
it's going to be him winning the UK title.
Facts.
That was a good Rhea Ripley impression.
Just
So,
move back that way.
Walter comes out, Gallus basically retreats to the back,
Wait, who did you say came out?
Walter,
Oh, man.
Water?
water, need some water?
Agua?
General came out, man. I'm putting this guy over. I'm gonna always put the General over, okay? Yes. More of that. More of that.
Need to have my water break.
Yeah, water break. Everybody take a
Yep.
water. So water break. Pinky's out. Thank you very much.
Necesita agua.
Oh, I'm sorry. But folks, what was that? What'd you say? Did you say the page there? Okay.
Page here!
Page here.
Page
Page here.
here.
Oh, page here.
Page here.
Oh, man. Translation. Page here. Oh,
Hey.
page here.
So, anyways, Dunn and Water stare at each other, and Water leaves to end the segment.
This guy fucking broke it, bro.
I kicked the shit out of each other.
That's why I had to text y'all, because he really
that was a
kicked.
crazy ass powerbomb.
Yeah. That's why I had to text. I was like, yo.
We were at the movies.
Yeah, I didn't care. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, I
man.
cared, but I had to really let y'all know that bro kick was serious, and y'all see how serious it was.
He just like texted us everything, was like, don't spoil it.
No, I only spoiled that part because it was just like that bro kick. You see, it kicked the shit out of him.
No spoiling
Nothing
it.
compared to a Walter chop though, but that was pretty good though. Nothing compared to a Walter chop.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Sid Scala for the next segment. Sid Scala gets interviewed by a whole bunch of interviewers, saying that they will film 3 episodes of NXT UK at Phoenix.
Ooh.
And then he says that, and then
Well, that's why they were at Takeover then.
yeah, they're at Takeover because
They
they're
would.
the Worlds Collide
Worlds
event,
Collide,
which
yeah.
is streaming this Friday.
Oh,
Next
so they're
Friday.
filming those to this weekend.
Yeah.
It was mad matchups. We got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that access crowd probably got a lot
Oh,
of
they got
shit.
to see Adam
Yeah,
Cole
that
versus
was
Velveteen Dream.
They
They got
probably
to
already
see a
know
lot.
who won that.
They got to see
tournament.
Adam Cole versus Pete versus Tyler Big.
Want to shout out Tim Farley?
Yo, my guy from Armbar Radio. Yeah, shout out Armbar Radio. Don't try us at home radio. All our other friends and podcasts that support us, and we support you right back.
And shout out to the Council of Commentary.
Yeah, shout out to the Council of
Actually,
Commentary.
They're gonna start.
Shouts
their
out to the
fantasy
Council of
league.
Commentary. It's a Facebook group. They discuss everything wrestling. They actually have the precursor to the fantasy league that they started.
Yeah, man.
So the free league is up now. You
Join
can
'em.
contact the commish, Troy, Council Commissary on IG as well as on Facebook,
Facts.
and try out the pre-league. Join
Yeah,
the
man.
fantasy league.
Join them, man. Join them, man.
The winner of the fantasy league, the paid fantasy league, actually wins a world title of your choice. So,
Also, shout out to my boy Yori.
Hey.
shouts out.
Thank
Hey.
you for everybody watching us. We definitely
will-
appreciate it.
We'll definitely put
Like
out
us
a
on
link so
Facebook.
you could stream
Follow us
Royal
on
Rumble.
Twitter. All that stuff.
I'll
Yes.
definitely stream out. If nobody is not able to watch Royal Rumble, I'll stream it on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Cool.
Sounds good.
So,
So,
back-
anyways, Sid sees the grizzled young vets, Zach Gibson and James Drake. So, oh wait.
Oh.
I'm just never prepared for this shoot. Oh, yes. I am.
Yeah. I think it's ridiculous how all of us kind of just dress alike. It's so ridiculous how all of us dress alike and we just don't plan it. All of us dress alike. We all wear wrestling shirt. Well, I don't have a wrestling shirt on.
I was about to say, like,
Wrestling shirts and Jordans. It's just so ridiculous how we just all just basically dress
So-
alike.
When wrestling meets the urban community. Can't
So-
say that.
So Sid wants the grizzled young vets trying to talk to the cameras. Zach Gibson say, "Oh, now everybody wants to talk to us." But before they won the title, nobody wanted to speak to them. And he says, "You know what? We're gonna speak when we want to speak. So what is not gonna be this week? It's gonna be next week. So expect the champions segment for next week and such." And then he tells them to go away. Because that's what Zach Gibson
So did he actually tell them to go away, or did he sing it to them?
He said something like that.
Yes. Let's keep it rolling. What?
So the next match is Nina Samuels versus Lana Austin. And I'm so glad that Lana Austin is finally in the WWE ring. Lana Austin was previously spotted at an Impact Wrestling ring last year. And let me tell you that Lana Austin right now is a big star in the UK women's division scene. She's very over with the crowd. This is her first NXT match.
NXT.
And the crowd instantly knows who Lana Austin is, and they basically chanted her name throughout this whole match. I believe that hopefully the general manager, Johnny Sins, and Triple H was listening to that, and they signed Lana Austin because she's also a great performer as well. And they go back and forth. Nina starts to dominate the match, but the crowd keeps on chanting for Lana Austin. Lana reverses a Russian leg sweep to gain momentum, but Nina Samuels hit the prima donna for the win as the crowd booed very loudly. So, like I said, they should bring Lana Austin to WWE soon.
Cool.
So then we also have a backstage interview with Mustache Mountain. Said that they're disappointed that they wasn't the first
I can't do it.
WWE
I'm
UK
almost there.
It's like,
tag
Almost
team.
I can't do
I'm
Like
almost
that.
there. I'm almost there.
it. Wait.
So they're disappointed.
There we go.
They're definitely disappointed they're not the first UK tag team champions, but they said they'll
I
be
tried.
back to win it. The next match is Eddie Dennis versus Jamie Ahmed. This is my first match watching Jamie Ahmed, but he's a big guy, so hopefully he could, rival Dennis. Dennis sneaks into the outside and slams in to Ahmed with a running forearm. Dennis does a body slam on the outside of the ring. He tosses Ahmed back to the ring and sets him up to raise his edge. However, Ahmed gives him a hard right to the face and takes him down to the mat. Dennis finishes him off with a superplex off the top rope. He taunts the audience and delivers next stop driver for the 1-2-3. Great show by Eddie Dennis coming from an NXT TakeOver loss against Dave Mastiff. It was a great match. That the hardcore match between Dave Masters and Eddie Dennis. Catch that on the WWE Network for only $9.99 a month.
And he was picking him up like a lightweight. You never think that was crazy.
Yes, it was very crazy. And so the main event was Travis Banks versus Jordan Devlin. This was a great match. They had a couple of spots. One was a Spanish fly from the apron to the mats. I believe Devlin Spikes Banks had with a high angle back suplex. They end up in the outside, and Devlin tries to do the Island's Call finisher and stumbles to the outside with Banks over his shoulders, and both of them were counted out for a no contest. So the ending basically gave them a segue to go to another match, probably at the next takeover or something. So it was a great match. The crowd was definitely into me. You definitely got to watch that match.
They only gonna get better with their takeovers too.
Yeah, I mean, UK crowds are always.
Now they actually got the storylines being built behind their takeovers, so
yeah,
it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the show, they basically started fighting in the crowd and such to end the show.
To end the show.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, you have any Ring of Honor segments?
Yes, Ring of Honor, but woo!
Holy shit.
Woo! Can't wait for that.
Shit.
More of that.
Halftime.
Holy shit.
Next Sunday.
What is
Okay.
halftime
Holy
heat?
I
shit.
guess it's
That's
a new.
That's Super Bowl stuff.
Super Bowl. They did. Remember that years
so
ago?
they're gonna have a 6-man tag during the Super Bowl.
During halftime of the Super Bowl. Remember when-
Nice, and it good shine. for
It's a good.
NXT.
It's a good card. It's a good
Yeah,
card.
let's go.
All right.
So moving on to Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor. Yes. Yes.
ROH.
So we had a lot of going on in Ring of Honor this weekend, but we're just gonna try to like speed through it, and so we can get into Takeover. So pretty much this week we had the debut of Roosh, you know, which was an excellent match for his debut. And he was he ended up defeating the Kingdom's own TK Orion.
I would have liked to see if TK Orion be pushed more. I think he's a great asset of the Kingdom, and he needs to show more and not just have like Matt Taven taking up all the spotlight.
Yeah, because honestly, me not really knowing too much about the Kingdom, I've only really known about Matt Taven.
Yeah, I think TK O'Reilly deserves like at least a TV championship, at least. I mean, but they had a 6-man title, so you know.
Yeah.
That's one gold around their belt.
Yeah, give them more gold.
We also had it started off with Ring of Honor's World Television Title #1 contender mini tournament with Elias defeating Fancade. So that's one part of the tournament going in. Then we also had the another #1 contender tournament, which was Silas Young defeating Beer City Bruiser in a no disqualification match.
That must have been hard.
They used to be friends. What happened?
Pretty much, it was just Silas Young saying that it was just all for storyline or whatever. So
wow.
You know, we'll see more of that going on.
Silas Young is going to be on a tear this year. Watch.
Somebody needs to put him on the DeLorean
Yep.
and send him back to the 80s where he belongs.
Pretty much, they cut a lot of different promo. Kelly Klein coming out again and stating that every match that she'll have in Ring of Honor will be defending the title. So that's something to look forward for. Also, again, Jay Lethal cuts a promo and talking smack to Matt Taven, saying that he is the real Ring of Honor
I love Jay
champion.
Lethal, but good gosh, it's hard for me to take him serious.
Hey, wait! Before you go to the next segment, I just want to just say that I was right for my prediction. The Cruiserweight 4-Way is definitely on the Royal Rumble pre-show. Thank you.
They announced that.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they announced that.
They announced that and the U.S. title match on the pre-show.
Listen, I'll tell you this: the pre-show has been delivering. Both of the matches.
Who just came out with him?
That's Davari.
Davari.
Oh, he looks so different now.
Yeah, he's his manager now.
Yeah, he got an injury, and he's mad aggressive in the ring. Davari is super aggressive in the ring.
Dale looks like he got a new look too.
Yeah, he got a fade now.
He's finally coming into. They finally coming into himself now, man.
So pretty much that's what happened on this week episode. Then we had the road to G1 Supercard. Pretty much it's on Honor Club if anybody want to watch it. I really didn't get into it as much as I can. But pretty much it was just...
It's going to build more and more as we get closer to the G1 Supercard. That's when it's really
yeah, pretty much.
But
we definitely just seeing all... Now that, you know, obviously the Elite and Bullet Club is no longer with Ring of Honor like that. So pretty much we're going to see all these pretty much backstage competitors coming out into the light and giving their own spotlight. So definitely check them out. You know, not only the namesake of, you know, the Kingdom, Villain Enterprise, you know, just a lot more of, you know, the other competitors that we have that are coming into Ring of Honor. As we said in the news, MVP ended up making his debut this weekend, tag teaming with Kenny King. We've seen them tag team before, and definitely they do not disappoint. So we'll definitely keep an eye on them.
How did MVP look? Look good?
The usual. Came out with just the jumpsuit and chain and everything like that. His cockiness, as always.
Well,
you know.
Tropicana.
But definitely, I like the way that Ring of Honor is going with giving the spotlight to these these superstars that we don't know, but they do bring a lot to the table. So definitely keep an eye on that.
You know what I hope that happens when Flip Gordon comes back, that he just joins Bullet Club and he becomes the leader of the Bullet Club.
Ring of Honor. It could be Ring of Honor Bullet Club. I always
see a Ring of Honor Bullet Club unless the Cutthroat Era transition.
No, I see a nice push for Marty Scurll for Villain Enterprise. Villain Enterprise is definitely. I mean,
we don't need Bullet Club and Ring of Honor. We just don't need it at this point.
We got Flip though.
Well, Flip and Marty, you know, they were like.
I want to see Flip turn heel, become Bullet Club, and become the Bullet Club over there.
If the Cutthroat Era transitions and does more Ring of Honor stuff,
they need to.
Agree.
They need to.
They do.
They really need to.
I mean, hopefully.
They need.
We'll ask them. We'll ask them at the block party.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll definitely see. Remember, you know, he has to heal up, recover, and hopefully we'll see him before G1 Supercard.
Yeah.
So definitely keep an eye on that. So now
let's get to his main event, people. Ooh.
That was my heart.
NXT Takeover. Let's go.
Takeover Phoenix.
Yes, NXT Takeover Phoenix. So the show started off with a proper brawl.
It started off with heavy machinery.
Oh, it did?
No.
Not heavy machinery.
Ooh.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
the Warriors, the
War Raiders.
Sorry. We was skipping them. We was going straight into Matt Riddle.
Oh my gosh, because that intro was fire.
War Raiders versus the Undisputed Era.
That's my dyslexia because I definitely didn't forget that match. I just thought in my mind.
You came late. We reminded you.
But in my mind, I booked it. That would be the opening match as opposed to the tag team championship match.
No, the War Raiders. Excuse me for that mistake, but the War Raiders came out in a dope ass entrance with the Vikings surrounding them.
You know who one of the Vikings were too, right?
No,
he pretty much came. No offense.
Was one of them.
Yeah.
No offense, but he came out in his wedding attire.
Basically, basically what it was. Yeah, Sal Logan was one of the was one of the people. I forgot what other people were.
It was dope as hell. Good way to start.
Pretty much was like, hey, I just had my wedding, so you know what? We're gonna save some money and just use this as the entrance.
They I forgot what I was saying.
I
was just noticing you do this.
They had the big intro.
Oh, I think they're the only ones that had a crazy intro like that the whole night.
Yeah.
But crazy match. They were literally throwing bodies.
I want to
everywhere.
point out how the Undisputed Era, like even though the crowd popped for the War Raiders, how when Undisputed Era came out, how they're so over. Even in the beginning, as soon as the bell rings, all you hear is Undisputed. Like it was the Undisputed Era was just so over. They were super duper over.
Oh, what's gonna happen here?
Oh wow!
Oh All right, so we obviously have to just tell that one spot. So
Replay.
okay.
We have Otami on the second rope. We have
Otami trying to suplex Kalisto into the ring. However, Buddy Murphy came and took Kalisto for a powerbomb to the outside, and Akira Tozawa dive and
in between
hit
Hideo's
Kalisto
legs on the second rope,
causing a Hurricane Rana to Buddy Murphy into the barricade.
Goddamn.
All in one smooth transition.
More of that.
Definitely more of that.
So yeah, the War Raiders end up winning the tag team NXT tag team titles.
It was a really good match.
It was a great match. No match we gonna talk about as far as NXT was bad.
No,
they were all great matches.
All great matches.
Next up
I love the fact that Undisputed Era did a lot of old school. They did a lot of old school tactics. It was really dope.
Roger Strong definitely lives up to that last name.
Yes, he was picking up one of the War Raiders like it was just he's the messiah of the backbreaker. He did not let up just because he was facing bigger opponents. It was a really good cracking match, good back and forth. The crowd wasn't into the War Raiders. They weren't. Not that they weren't into War Raiders. They were just so into the Undisputed Era. That's what it was. I don't want to take anything away from the War Raiders.
I think they had equal shine, equal pops. War Raiders, whenever they did an amazing spot, the crowd was going nuts. Like, no, it was equal. The War Raiders got that good pop for their entrance, and Undisputed Era definitely. When they came out, got a pop, but it was equal. The fans were on both sides. It was a great match.
It definitely was. It definitely was. You should definitely go out your way to watch it.
But yeah, they War Raiders come out with the NXT Tag Team titles. And next up is Matt Riddle versus Cassius Ohno, which you have to go back. Have to go back and watch. Hard hitting. It looked like they really wanted to knock each other out for real.
That's Matt. That's Matt Riddle's usual work rate. That's how he usually works.
I mean, he was actually. Wasn't he bleeding from his mouth though?
Yeah, he got stomped.
He stomped him right in his mouth. Yeah, right in his mouth. Yeah, this is a hard. Oh gosh, this is a hard hitting match. The entire Cassius Ohno. Cassius Ohno's never won. He's never had a victory at NXT Takeover. So he was trying to get that first victory over the Bro God, but
I just want to highlight, like, Matt Riddle says that he would like to face Brock Lesnar, and with this match, I believe it.
I believe
because
it too.
How do you finish the match?
I'm not gonna say how he finished the match, but
he beat the shit out of him into submission.
But some
you have to tell them that.
Some highlights I want to put out is that he lifted him up for a gut wrench and lift him over his back and such. And this is Cassius Ohno. We're talking about 270 pounds. And then he also hit him with a sleeper plex as well.
Oh my god. A reverse sleep, like,
so he has him in the sleeper
hold and just
and he landed.
My god,
it was such a sick spot.
The amount of strength that you gotta have to do that.
Matt Riddle literally beats the hell out of Cassius Ohno until Cassius taps out on strikes. And I don't think we've ever had a tap out with strikes in WWE.
And it was like on the back of his head, like. It was out of angle, out of the referee's view, and he was already tapping. And just, they didn't stop it. Matt just kept going and going and going, and it was just like. That's like he was still tapping. After the match ended, he still.
And it showed how aggressive Matt Riddle can get and how quick he could snap back and be like.
Bro.
Y'all see why I was putting over Matt Riddle so hard? Wait till another 6-7 months when we have matches between Matt Riddle and Keith Lee.
I'm saying, like, every time I see Matt Riddle and he's just like that nice and cool, just reminds me of like Finding Nemo and the turtle. Like,
so moving on, we have Bianca Belair versus Shayna Baszler. Great match.
It was
Shayna Baszler showed her, listen, you was getting a little undefeated streak, good, but now you win the show. And I'm going to show you what a champion does. She beat the shit out of her.
Yeah, but...
Bianca Belair had that one spot where she whipped the hell out of her with the hair and left a gash.
That's gonna be a scar right there.
Bianca Belair, they really, even though she lost, Bianca Belair really
she lost strong.
She showed a lot of growth because she was selling, oh my God, she was selling like crazy.
Yeah, she was.
Because there was a spot outside where Shayna Baszler, they're outside. Shayna Baszler grabbed her like through the ring post, grabbed her by the hair, and just pulled her and like hit her shoulder like crazy hard. Oh my gosh, it was dope.
We have Shayna Baszler retaining the title in this one.
There was some
interference from the 4 Horsewomen, and you know Bianca Belair for the most part.
I mean, she was still looking strong.
She still withstood all of that, and she ends up getting put to sleep